And now Andrew's doers. Andrew knows everything. Proudly presents. It's Sixerella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Sixerella. Sixerella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier. Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier made Sixerella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier all together. Then one day, the king of Sixtupling messenger said, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Sixtupling is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Sixtupling." But Sixerella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Sophia said, "He's going to marry me." Isabella said, "No way, Sophia, you're wrong. He's going to marry me." Xavier said, "Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me." Later, Sixerella is so sad, doing chores while her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Sixerella?" Sixerella responds, "I have lots of chores to be done, but I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Sixtupling." Her fairy godmother said, "I can help with a bit of magic." Sixerella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand. Because of the 6 other chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, "Sixerella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, Sixerella has 6 pumpkins. Sixerella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 6 pumpkins into a handsome coach. And then drawn by 12 strong horses, and then Sixerella's clothes into a gown and crown. Sixerella said, "I've never seen such a sextuple-tastic gown, and get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough?" Her fairy godmother said, "Well, you can't. But have fun, Sixerella, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before." Sixerella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Sixtupling was wondering who he should marry. Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier all together, "He's walking towards me." But he's not walking towards any of them. Prince Sixtupling is walking towards Sixerella. "May I have this dance?" asked Prince Sixtupling. Sixerella responds, "I would be delighted." Prince Sixtupling and Sixerella dance happily together, but later, Sixerella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost both of her glass slippers. Prince Sixtupling was so worried that he might never see Sixerella again. He then traveled around Sixtupling to find her, and brought the 2 glass slippers with him. By the time he arrives, he knocked on the door of the house where Sixerella, Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier lived. But instead of Sixerella, he finds Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier. Prince Sixtupling said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can you go try on these glass slippers?" Sophia is first, but her feet are too big. Isabella is next, but her feet are too small. Xavier was last, but her feet didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Sextupling notices his Sixerella's sweet singing. Sixerella then gets so excited because she's having her Prince Sextupling back. And Prince Sextupling doesn't have to put the 2 glass slippers back on her feet because they're so uncomfortable. And then Prince Sextupling and Sixerella lived happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Drew Review. Want to see some sequels? Tell your friends about it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share and buy our merchandise. Oh, look at that! And if we time it just right, it's 6 minutes and 6 seconds. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Fiftifiverella. It is based on the story of Cinderella, with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there lived a young woman named Fiftifiverella. Fiftifiverella had 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fatina, Ivana, Fernanda, Tasha, Yadina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. Fatima, Ivana, Fernanda, Tasha, Yadina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. May Fiftifiverella do all the chores. 55er wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! Said Fatima, Ivana, Fernanda, Tasha, Yvonne, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella all together. One day, the king of 55's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of 55 is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quadrupling. But 55 is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Fatima, the oldest stepsister. Ivana said, No way, Fatima. He's going to marry me. The rest said, No, he's going to marry me. Later, 55 is so sad, distraught, and upset doing chores about not going to the ball, and marry Prince Quadrupling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 55 by saying, There now, my dear sweet 55 I can help with a bit of magic, and waves her magic wand. And because of that, 55 chores are all done, but her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 55 go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 55 has 55 pumpkins and 110 mice. 55's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 55 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 110 mice into horses, and 55's fairy clothes into a gown and crown. 55 says, I've never seen such a quinquagintuple-tastic gown. Get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? 55's fairy godmother says, Well, you can't. But have fun, 55 but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken and everything will change back to the way it was before. Back to normal. And gives her a clock to tell her what time it is. 55 accepted the warning and climbed into the coach. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of 55 says, Good evening, everyone. And my son, Prince Quadrigitatopling, was one who he owed to marry. Isn't that right, son? In which Prince Quadrigitatopling responds, yes, father. Suddenly, Fiftifiverella arrives just in time for the ball. Fatima, Ivana, Fernanda, Tasha, Yadina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella say, he's walking towards me! All together, but he's not walking towards any of them. Prince Quadrigitatopling is walking towards Fiftifiverella. May I have this dance? asks Prince Quadrigitatopling, in which Fiftifiverella responds, I would be delighted. Prince Quadrigitatopling and Fiftifiverella dance happily together. But later, as Fiftifiverella checks her clock, it's almost midnight, and so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Quadrigitatopling is really sad and worried that he might never see Fiftifiverella again. The king of Fiftifiverella comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find her. And so, the king of 55 and Prince Quadrigitatopling began their journey all around 55 to find 55 and brought the glass slipper with them. By the time they arrive, they knock. Prince Quadrigitatopling knocks on the door of the house where 55 and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters live. But instead of 55 they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Prince Quadrigitatopling then says, Ladies, my father and I have a favor to ask. Can you try on this glass slipper? Fatima is first, but her foot is too big. Ivana is next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits, she said. The rest are the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Quadrigitatopling and the king of 55 noticed 55 singing. Prince Quadrigitatopling, is that you? She hollered excitedly. Prince Quadrigitatopling says, Of course it's me. My father and I found you. I love you. Will you marry me? And the glass slipper fits. And so, 55 the king of 55 and Prince Quadrigitatopling lived happily ever after. The end. And I bet it was a fun story, right, Andrew Stewart? I've been debating on making some sequels. So, if you want to see maybe someday 55 2, 55 wishes come true, tell your friends about it, okay? And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. And have you found your prince or princess? Just let me know, and maybe my Cinderella parodies will come true and become real. Take care, Andrew Stewart.